Hello and welcome to another video. So today I am going to show you what my daily planning routine looks like. There are 3 planners that I go through every single day. The first is my weekly planner, my Star Wars edition Erin Condren academic planner. The second is my daily planner, passion planner daily edition. And then the last is my Happy Planner reading journal, which is a mini happy planner horizontal. So we're going to take a look at all 3 of those. I do this basically every single day, and to keep up with that, I've started using an app called Routinary, and so in it I keep track. So this is especially important on mornings when I have to work. So I do 5 minutes in my weekly planner, just checking in, updating some stuff. I do 10 minutes in the daily because I get into more detail here. Then I do 10 minutes journaling, which also happens in the daily. And then I do 5 minutes in my reading journal. So altogether, I take 30 minutes to do my morning daily planner routine, more or less. There is some fluctuation in that, but for the most part, I do try to keep up with those timings with that app, especially because when I go to work, I really have to get out the door when I need to get out. So those timings are moderately rigid. So let's get into it. So first things first, my weekly planner. I start with this because this is the broadest view, like bird's eye view of the day and the week to see how things are going. So today is Sunday down here, and some things that have happened this week. I have a lot of to-dos that are still just hanging because I didn't get to them, but I wasn't sure I wanted to migrate them to the next day or several days later or even next week. So I just left them because I can easily see them and kind of look back and decide what I want to do. These to-dos also often get caught in my daily, and so I just leave them where they are most of the time. But on a day like today, Sunday, I have to decide if I'm actually going to do them this week. So some things to take a look at. So yesterday I did not walk, but that I did migrate, and for me that's important to make note of. That needs to get done today or I won't meet that goal that I have this week. So I'll add that here. My weekly review and actions I did yesterday. I forgot to give our cats their flea medication, so that has to happen today. And for something like this where I forgot it or I know I'm gonna forget to do it again, I have started incorporating the reminders on my Apple Watch. This is a new acquisition, but I put reminders here. So like this one says 8 a.m. film video. That's just a placeholder because I have some to-dos I don't want to be visible in this video, but they go there. So I have, I think at 8 o'clock right before bed, it'll pop up that I need to give the cats their flea medication, and that is really, really helpful for me because I'm wearing this all the time and I just glance at it to make sure I know what I'm supposed to do next. And I do that for things that are especially important that I might forget or that I want to do while I'm out of the house and away from my planners. Then I'll put those in there too, because then otherwise I'll forget. So where am I? Okay, my reading. I had this reading like pacing to finish my book club book. At this point, I just need to finish the book. Book club meeting is tomorrow and I really want to go. It's the first one that I will be able to attend and I want to go. So I need to finish my book today. And I think I can do it. It's like 100 pages, maybe a little more, a little less. But what that means is that the rest of these page marks I didn't quite get to are irrelevant. So I'm going to just scratch them out because they're not worth my grading. They have been condensed to a different task. So I've got that. If we go all the way back to Tuesday, this joy list to do comes from the Moxie Life goal setting system. It's one of the things they recommend doing this week. I planned to do it on Tuesday. I did not do it on Tuesday, but I did do it yesterday. So for that, I'm going to put an X. which just tells me that yes, I did it, but I did not do it that day. I just did it eventually. Upload video, I did that yesterday too. Basically, most of these tasks ended up getting caught on Saturday or today's Sunday, which means it lets me know that for the work week, I planned too much. And like when I get home from work, I am tired. And so I need to be better about not giving myself too many things to do in the evening because I'm just not going to do them. And that's fine. Most of them can wait until the weekend. So there's that. This task, psych, that stands for educational psychology. I'm taking a course in that this fall, and I have to find my textbook. One of the courses that I'm taking has a different edition of a textbook I already own from the last time, about 4 years ago, that I was prepped to enter a master's degree program, and I bought this textbook, and the instructor said that I can use the older edition. So I just have to find it. It got packed up in the move and I need to find it. It's like an $80 textbook to rent, more to buy, and I already own it. So I am going to migrate it though, because it's important to be here. My laptop, the corners are getting absolutely, they're like falling apart. It's weird. But I want to duct tape the edges. Now this has been on my to-do list for multiple weeks at this point, and yesterday when doing my goal setting, I realized that part of it is that before I do this, I have to find the duct tape. I don't know where it is. That's a completely separate to-do. Like, it's gonna take me effort to go find it, to ask someone to help me, and so that's a to-do that's keeping me from doing this one. So this one doesn't need to be on my list until I can figure out where the duct tape is. So I'm gonna get this crossed out because it is on my list next week to just find the duct tape, and from there it's gonna be really easy to actually complete this to do. But the like sub to do that was making it hard was finding the duct tape. So I got that. That's all cleared out. Over here, monthly budget, I haven't done that yet. My sister, I called on a different day, so I have called her this week. My goal is to call her once a week, usually on Friday, and so I left this here just in case I had time to call her again, but I probably won't, so I'm gonna just say I've done it for the week. Wash sheets, clean the car, and monthly budget. Which of those? I need to wash sheets. And then clean the car can wait. It's not that dirty, it's fine. So I'm migrating washing sheets. I'm just gonna cross that out for this week and decide if I want to add it to next week. But I've decided it's just not important enough to keep thinking about. That's what the crossed off tasks are. Those are things that are like, I thought I was gonna do them, they don't absolutely have to get done, and I want to stop worrying about them or thinking about them at all. So I cross them out. And then my monthly budget that I want to do. September's coming around and I'm getting paid on a different schedule and a different salary than I have previously been with my new job, and I need to figure out what does a monthly budget look like with my new job. I've been doing a lot of like estimates and things like that, but I really want to narrow something down. And this is happening right now, so I'm not going to bother putting it over here. All right. So there's that. That has taken me about almost 10 minutes because I'm talking through it. But yeah, so now I've got my little block on Sunday. This is what I want to get done. Put that off to the side. And then we get more specific. So then I go into my daily plan. Okay, so in here, as you can see, this is where I put my joy list, the Moxie Life system. The first thing they do is deal with my to-dos and migrations, so, and my habits. So yesterday I did shower, I did read, I did drink enough water, I did not floss. So I'll scratch that out. This means I didn't do it. In in my to-do list, I forgot to give the cats revolution, but I have migrated that task. Decided not to worry about cleaning the car. I have migrated the monthly budget task and the wash sheets task and finding this textbook. Now, I did try to find it yesterday. I spent a while with my boyfriend in the storage area trying to find this book. Couldn't find it. Did find my lunchbox. Migrating my walk, migrating the reading. So that's that piece. This I do not fill out until I get to the journaling section of my planner, because for me the daily part is making sure that I've set up the day in my planner so that I can carry out what I need to do. And if during the journaling time I run out of time for anything, then this is stuff I can always come back to. So I don't do this until after I plan the day from a to-do list and schedule perspective. So this is the day blank slate. I do decorate pretty well in advance. So I've got a few things laid out. I want to add some color and highlighting here. But yeah, I decorate so that I can just come in the morning because I don't have time. I have 10 minutes in here. So where am I? Alright, so to-do lists and habits. My habits I write down every morning. They just remind me to do them. So wake at 5 a.m. Actually woke up at 6:30 today, so I'm immediately gonna cross that out. I don't know what happened. I thought I was snoozing my alarm, but I must have turned it off. So there's that. And then I have journal twice. Journal times 2. That stands for journaling here in my daily, and then my reading journal update. Shower. I have to put this in my habits because on days I'm not going anywhere, like on the weekends, it's really like so tempting for me to just skip the shower for a day. But then I find that that day is incredibly unproductive. Like everything I thought I wanted to do that day, I don't do it. Something about the act of showering just primes me for, okay, the day has started, let's get stuff done. And then I'm able to get things done. If I don't do it, then I just meander around all day, and then at the end of the day I'm like, what did I do today? It's like nothing. So there's that. What's next? Then I read. I try to do this in order of like when things happen. So these 3 things happen in the morning. Reading and water happen throughout the day. Usually I'll know if I've read before I know if I've drank enough water. And then flossing happens at the end of the day because I floss in the evening. So there's that. And I don't know how my voice is going to come out in the video. It's like super early in the morning because this is when I do my morning planner routine. But the whole house is still asleep, so I am talking kind of quietly. Right, so then my to-do list. I fill this in next. So let's see. Things that I want to do. I need to memory keep. That happens every Sunday. I can help it. I need to plan my outfits for the upcoming week. Something that didn't make it onto my to-do list, but I remembered now. So the daily is like deep to-dos, catch-all things. I need to meal prep. And for me, that means breakfast and lunch for the work week. So for breakfast, I tend to do yogurt, fruit, and granola in these like stackable to-go container things that I got from Costco. And so I put a cup of yogurt at the bottom, a cup of fruit, and then some granola, and I just eat that like in my car right now because we get to work so early and I don't have like a designated classroom or anything at this point. I've been doing trainings and other stuff. And then I also pack my lunch, so I make multiple sandwiches. Right now I'm doing turkey and cheese, and then I do some kind of snack. Next week I'm thinking goldfish, maybe an orange, maybe both. So making sure that the goldfish are pre-portioned, the sandwiches are made, the oranges are pre-cut, and my yogurt is pre-portioned. I do that for a handful of days at a time. I don't have enough containers to do the whole week right now, so I do about 3 to 4 days. And that just makes my life so much easier because I do not have to think about it at all. if I had to think about it, I would just wouldn't eat lunch. So I do that, and I'm gonna do that today. And then other important tasks, walk 1 hour. This also helps me prioritize because I write things down in order of priority. If something doesn't fit on this list and I have to jot a note down somewhere else, I'm more likely to forget about it. So making sure that the things I most want to do end up here is important. Revolution for the cats, that's the name of their medication. I need to finish my book. And so what this means is that I do double write some of my tasks. And for me, that's fine. Like, it just helps me think. So I'll write them multiple times. Sometimes things from here get then put into my reminders on my iPhone so that I can see them on my watch later. It's just been working for me, so I'm not going to stop doing it. I need to find educational psychology. The course starts next week, so I have to find it. All right, wash sheets, monthly budget. I need to wash the sheets. It's been too long, and we sleep with the family dog, and he makes everything smell like dog. So I've got to do that. Monthly budget. Now, something that didn't get made onto this list that is on my weekly plan is that I want to do flip through prep. Flip through prep for me is when I place sticky notes in areas where there's information that I don't want to be part of the video. And I've run out of space here on my to-do list. So I also have to decide if I have time to do it today. And I'm not sure. So I'm just going to leave it on the weekly view for now. If I remember to come back to it, I remember. If I forget, I forget. I probably didn't have time for it anyway. So that's all right. Over here, the last thing I want to add is that today is International Cinema Day, and our local theater is doing $4 movies, which is pretty cool. And I don't know if we're going to have time to go. I don't know what movie we'll see if we go, but I want to write it down. I've been enjoying the Sharpie S Note highlighters. So that's my accent color. And when I have another like random thing, I tend to just make myself a box over here. It's not really a to-do, it's just a reminder. Or an event. And then this I will outline, like if I have work, if I have an appointment. I'll keep track of meals in this section. I'll jot down what I did throughout the day. I really only fill this in like ahead of time when I know I have an appointment. Because it's Sunday, I don't have an appointment. So that's done. So now I am done with the planning section. Now I can move on to the journaling piece. So this is step 3, journaling. The first thing I do there is I come back over here and make sure I have this stuff filled in. Now, my free space to grow, I usually use for an affirmation card. Yesterday, I forgot to pull an affirmation card. I got really caught up in this. Basically, I've been reading a book called Building Thinking Classrooms in Mathematics, and it is like one of the most research-based, very thorough, very specific books on classroom management and setup and philosophy that I have ever read. And if you are all like in the teaching field, I highly recommend you give it a read. I'm on chapter 4. And one of the things they say is that as counterintuitive as it is, children are more engaged in thinking and like working when group work is random, like all the time. No matter what groups you think you're going to want to make, that implies certain expectations to the students that they will fall into, right? Like if you place a weaker student with a stronger student, they know who's struggling, so they'll know the weaker student knows they've been marked as the weaker student, and they are going to continue to like act within that role and not expect as much of themselves. The stronger student knows they are the stronger student. They're gonna take over the conversation because that's the role that they fit into. If you try to group by strength, then you lack diversity in knowledge, and so knowledge cannot pass from student to student, and that means that you are giving them more hints, you're giving them more help, whereas in a thinking classroom, like the biggest chunk of thinking comes from the students themselves, and that happens most efficiently when they are in random groups, so that there are a big variety of strengths and skill sets and experiences within the group, but that they do not feel like they have been deliberately placed. That was a soapbox. It's something I'm thinking about trying, and to do it, the randomization has to be visible. So students have to really believe that it is random. It doesn't matter if you do it on your own and then give them a seating chart, because if you do that, it feels exactly the same as if they you present the seating chart as deliberate. So the randomization has to be visible so that they know you are not putting them in anywhere in particular. Like, it's truly random. And one of the things they recommended was playing cards. I'm sorry, this is going to be a long video now because I've started talking about this and I feel quite passionate about it. So one of the things is playing cards, where like you shuffle a deck of cards, the children pick a card, and then if everyone has like King of Hearts, or not King of Hearts, there aren't multiple Kings of Hearts in the deck, are there? I mean king. So if you take out like 4 kings, those 4 students become a group of 4. That kind of thing. The playing cards I don't own, or if I do, I have to hunt them down, and they're just boring, and they don't fit into a classroom theme I'm thinking of, which is to do it D&D, Dungeons and Dragons based. And so what I did instead is that I spent yesterday morning making class cards to sort my groups, and this is like such a tangent, but I'm gonna show them to you anyway. I've got them in this box that had my bite retainers shipped to me, and I made these. I'm so proud. I did use just like Pinterest art, so it's not like, I mean, I'm just buying this purely for my use, right, in a classroom, so I was not looking to spend money. But I've got these cards, and I put the back, I like made the file so that it would line up, so that on one page there was a consistent back, and then on the other side there's a class, and I've got multiple sets. The ideal group is 3, so there are like, when I shuffle my cards, there will be 3 warlock cards, and that will let the students know, okay, we're the warlock group today. That was really fun for me to do yesterday, and then I laminated them. So I print, cut, and laminated all of these yesterday. Got the bards, the rangers. I feel like it'll be fun. I don't know, but I did it, so we'll see. I'm quite proud of these. Also, look at how nicely they fit. So that's what I did yesterday morning, and then in the afternoon, like nothing, I took a nap and we went grocery shopping. So I'll just jot that down. Okay. So this is gonna stay blank. I didn't pull an affirmation, and that's okay. Yesterday, self-maintenance. What did I do for myself yesterday? Oh, I made my Moxie Life prompt joy list. That was fun. The best thing that happened, I would say, was that I made my class cards. Those were fun to make. And then today I learned, so the bulk of this day I was listening, while I was making those cards, I was listening to Building a Thinking Classroom because I had Audible credits, so I bought the audiobook. And in the chapter that I read yesterday, they were talking about defronting classrooms. So today I learned about defronting classrooms. And that is when you order the desks so that there's no symmetry, and it's just a little chaotic. Like there's no clear front of the classroom based on how the desks are laid out, because when that happens, students assume more often or not that they're going to be lectured at least for some portion of the day. And in a thinking classroom where you want most of the knowledge to be constructed by the students, you don't want them to expect that you're just going to tell them the answer, because then they will stop thinking, and that defeats the purpose. So there's that. It's very interesting. Like, you should read it. Everyone should read it. Okay. Today in one word. I had a fun day, so I'm gonna say it was fun. And then my mood for the day. Don't know where I put my highlighter. This is a different color, I think. That's okay. That's good. So there's that. Once I fill that in, I go to my gratitude. So basically, I like to take my journaling in terms of different scaffolds. So if I find that in this 10 minutes, I'm having trouble deciding where I want to start writing, then I do my things that are prompted first, and then I do this. If I find that there's a lot on my mind that day, then I'll bring them here and go back. So like yesterday, there was a chunk of stuff I wanted to talk about, and I did some other stuff later. Gratitude. I do that next. I do 2 to 4 things depending on how much room I have. So let's think. What am I grateful for today? New curriculum resources. I'm like having so much fun with this. I mean, I can't express how much the difference in the preparation I feel for implementing this curriculum is with this training that I've received. And even just being able to talk to people about the curriculum and how it works and where some of its weaknesses are and how we can deal with those. It's game changing. I mean, yeah, no one talked to me about this last year. So new curriculum resources. All right, so there's that. Oh, Cinder woke me up this morning, and that was fun. And Cinder wake up call. That's when she gets too tired of waiting for me to wake up for breakfast and decides to stand on me and yell in my face. It's always fun. She's my backup alarm clock for work. She has been the reason sometimes that I have not missed work. If I accidentally snooze an alarm, she'll come get me. So there's that. And new yogurt. Like, we found this K-Bot whole milk 10% milk fat yogurt it's Greek yogurt. It is luxurious. Like, it is so good. And so we've been having a ton of fun with that, and that's like, it's really good. Let's think of one more thing. And I try not to do the same things multiple times. I do try to push myself to think of different things. But I do recycle, because sometimes it's like, that is a fun thing. Like Cinder waking me up, that's been on my list multiple days, but it hasn't been on my list like this week at all, or maybe even this month. you know, so I'll bring it back, but I try to think of things I know I haven't like thought of recently. What else? Oh, yesterday when we were looking for my lunchbox, we found some house slippers that I have been missing. Pink fox house slippers. Alright, so there's that. Then we do the affirmation card section. So today's card is a bonus card, and it says manifestation. If you could be anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? Or is it just that, in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make them happen. Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting. But don't use that word if you don't want to. So for this one, it's a bonus, so I tend to like to mark that. The bonus cards just have like prompts for things to like do. When the regular, oh, that's another bonus. That's, no, I'm gonna shuffle that. I don't like doing 2 bonuses in a row. The normal cards have like a little thing, a more traditional kind of affirmation on them. Okay. Manifestation. And for this one, because it's a prompt, what I'm going to do is here journal a little bit about what I would want if I could want anything. And I'm going to do that off camera. That's going to be just for me. I'm also going to journal off camera too. So here I would just do stream of thought journaling. So this I'll come back to after I do that. And this part can't take more than 10 minutes. So that's why I just, some of them I don't get to in those 10 minutes, and that's fine. My morning schedule does leave 20 minutes at the very end. I call flex time, and so that's after I have done my minimum check-in. I have showered, gotten dressed, I've fed the cats, like everything that has to get done before I leave for work has gotten done, and that leaves me a 20-minute buffer to do with whatever I need to. So for me, that could be going back to doing a bit more journaling. It could be just watching TV. Like sometimes I spend those 20 minutes just watching a YouTube video and sipping on my coffee. It could be finding something. So if I didn't prep my backpack or something, then I'll do that. In the winter, it's probably going to be defrosting the car and clearing snow. So there's that 20-minute chunk that I might go back to do this. I got it all done today because it's a Sunday and I'm filming. But just know that it doesn't always happen. When I put this card back in the deck, I put it face up so that I know when I've gone through every card once and I can shuffle. I want to get another deck. They have multiple decks of these and they're themed around different things. So I want to collect them. But yeah, they're fun. I like them. Last but not least, my reading journal. So for this, my daily check-in is to fill in how many pages I've read, which I do by updating my Bookmary app and then letting it calculate what I did. I haven't decided yet how to deal with audiobooks. So for now, in this section, I just put pages read and if I listen to an audiobook as well, so that I know once I decide if I want to figure out how to calculate those pages, I can know which days to go look at. But I do update how much I read, like how long I read in my Bookmary app. So that information is there for me. I haven't done a page conversion yet, and I don't know whether it's worth it for me or not. Haven't decided. But I read 38 pages from The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson, and I listened to, oops, misspelled that, and I listened to Building Thinking Classrooms. I want to finish it over the next couple of days so that I can take as much into the new year as I can. But the first 3 chapters were what the author said, or like the 3 main things. Like if you can't immediately do anything else in the book, the things that are going to get your students thinking the most for longer, that should be implemented together, are the first 3 things. The first one is to do problem-solving tasks, introducing them with non-curricular problem-solving tasks, and then introducing curricular problem-solving tasks. And my district has a problem-based curriculum, so I already have mostly the curricular problem-solving tasks I need. I just, for those first couple days, need to decide what non-curricular problem-solving tasks I want to use in order to introduce them to the concept. Then the second thing they said to do was randomize groups. So I've got my cards. My goal for that is to meet them at the classroom door, and like as soon as they walk in, they pull a card. This also means that I'm there to greet them and say hello as they walk in, which is something that I want to practice this year. And then the third thing is vertical non-permanent surfaces. Students are willing to try solutions and get started working on something rather than letting themselves sit stuck when the surface they're writing on is non-permanent. It reduces the stress and of making a mistake. And then if it's vertical, that allows for students to kind of, if they do get stuck, take a glance around the room, get an idea for like what other groups have tried. If you come to groups and write with a different color, like hints or notes or something, they can also see like where you've stopped and where you have already helped a group, so that they can figure out how to help themselves. And so there's that. Those are the 3. The hardest one for me is going to be that vertical non-permanent surface. I don't know what my classrooms look like, and I'm in 3 different ones, so that'll be interesting. But the book also includes recommendations for how to deal with sharing a classroom, like defronting a classroom. Apparently, if we can get the students really well trained, a group of motivated students can rearrange the desks in a room in less than a minute and then put them back. So it's not impossible, but it takes work. So I don't know about defronting, but those first 3 I think I can do. That's what I'm starting with. I will go from there. I also have to talk to a co-teacher. I have a co-teacher in 3 of my classes. One of them I have met and said she does want to co-teach because she's really there as a specialist, but I don't know what role the other one wants to take. So yeah, okay, I'm getting off track. I read my audiobook. And then for this, usually I reference my phone if I want to put a quote into my reading journal, but I put it on a sticky note because I'm filming with my phone. So here we are. I started listening to Thinking Classrooms. This is what the cover looks like. Will it focus? Yeah. It's orange. And it's by Peter. This name. I don't know how to say that at all. But there it is. It's fun. Like 3 different people have recommended it to me in the past couple of weeks of training, and so I got it, and I'm excited to talk to people about it next week. Okay. So yesterday, sometimes I just do, like yesterday I did a little blurb about how excited I am about building thinking classrooms, but for yesterday I want to do a quote that I found in The Alloy of Law that I quite liked. So it says, the measure of a person is not how much they have lived. It is not how easily they jump. At noise, or how quick they are to show emotion. It's in how they make use of what life has shown them. This is from the Alloy of Law. I quite like that. And that's where my reading journaling stops. This page I tend to I tend to update about once a week, once every few days, whenever I remember. This has been a month of DNFs. I DNF these 3. And I finished 2 books, I think. By the end of the month, it'll probably be 3 or 4. Maybe 5. We'll see. So there's that. And that is my morning planner routine. It, like I said, usually takes about 30 minutes. But depending on the time I have, it can take more or less. So yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.